Good afternoon, sirs, moms. Second time today. How lucky are you? Live with Cpl Covid. So I was just talking to a friend. Shout out Kev Davis. And he reminded me of remedies. So what I am going to do is I'm going to discuss some remedies with you wonderful people. But always after a pause of 2-3, because most censored man in Wales. And we are live. There's the viewers coming in. Okay. So this is my second live today, second hour. Okay, I'll be here for a period of 60 minutes. If anybody has any questions, it's still buffering at the moment. Technical difficulties. Here we go. So I mentioned it briefly in my last video. The council tax, okay? It is illegal, okay? Within the boundaries of law, you, the viewers, are not entitled to fund a terrorist organisation. Okay, as per the Terrorism Act 2000. Now, when you have the affidavit of Dr. Francis Boyle, I was going to post it. I was going to reshare it before doing this post. But do not worry, sirs, moms. I will share it immediately after this, okay? So with that affidavit, that's currently under criminal investigation, South Wales Police 2600047716, they escalated it to the Metropolitan Police, 3rd of March 2026. So it is under criminal investigation at this moment in time. It's still, to this day, 25th, Ben Boy, 25th of July 2026 has not been rebutted, okay? So if you are paying your council tax, what you can do is, you can challenge it, okay? Please don't be afraid. So what's the worst thing that can come out of challenging? You can maybe get a letter sent back to you or an email that is, not pleasant to read, that may be upsetting. John Boy, so what? So what? Now, the reason that I lost my property, right, is because I paid the mortgage with a promissory note and I lost the receipt. Now, the individual, Robbie the rat catcher, okay, that educated me on promissory notes, he told me the golden rule is you have to keep the receipt. Unfortunately, my admin's up my arse and I lost it. Chenzo boy, John Boy. Now, I have had people, right, after I've lost my property, I have had people use the peace officer's promissory notes. And do you know, like what I do now when I send the police letters? I take a photo immediately at the post office. It's now my SOP. Take a photo at the post office, right? And then I upload it to social media. Now, you don't have to do that, but if you do that, right, there's a good chance that you're not going to lose the receipt. Because all your friends see it online, they are screenshotting it, they have a copy, right? I have had people write off their sum of money, right? The biggest one that we know of is 400 grand. 400k, right? And you write them a promissory note at the bank. You ring the bank up and say, how much do I owe you on this mortgage? And they'll tell you X amount. You write the promissory note for X amount. You can then send that to them and then take a photo of the receipt. So what you have is what's known as tacit agreement. If they do not redeliver the promissory note within a 72-hour period, the debt is wiped. Now, again, many of you will be struggling to digest this. And what I will say to you, troops, is much more study is required. Okay? So we've got council tax. When I went to... So that's the reason I lost my property, because of the promissory note. Now, with the council tax, it's different. I had many people come to my court case with the council tax in Merthyr. I submitted the emergency writ, the cardiotoxicity report, professor's research, the affidavit of Dr. Francis Boyle, you know, all the good stuff that I keep referring to. And the District Judge Williams, he wouldn't read it. So he said, you owe £1,000 for your council tax. I said, okay, am I entitled to fund terrorist organisations? He said, we're not here to talk about that. You owe £1,000 council tax. And I said, sir, I've paid tax all my life. I was a soldier for 14 years. You got no choice to pay tax. They take it out of your wage. But I said, in the boundaries of law, I am not able to fund a terrorist organisation. Now, one RCT council rolled out the mRNA technology with the affidavit of Dr. Francis Boyle. We have concerns that they are now bioterrorists. Now, the judge said, he said, don't explain this to me, explain this to the bailiffs. Again, I had a full house for my council tax court case. They had to restrict us to, I think it was about 20 people in the public gallery. Can you imagine everybody done this? Can you imagine, literally that's what me and Kev Davis were just talking about on the phone now. Can you imagine everybody just stop paying them? The judge said to me, he said, don't explain this to me, explain it to the bailiffs. And I said to District Judge Williams, if you send bailiffs to my house, I'll arrest them the same as I arrested PC 693 Simon Tops of Avon and Somerset Constabulary. And he said, okay, thank you. And that was it. The bailiffs never come to my property for council tax. I stopped paying council tax in 2020. When I found out the truth about the mRNA, I stopped paying council tax. I didn't go to court for 5 years after. So for those of you that think that you can challenge your council tax today and you'll be in court tomorrow and you will be in jail by the week's end, your flawed thinking process is because we're conditioned. And we're conditioned because we watch too many bloody films. Michelle, wake up people, this man is speaking facts. Thank you, darling. Is Northern Ireland #1 pays council tax or water? Why? Same UK. In Northern Ireland, no one. Apologies. Yes, sure. Because they don't want to fund terrorism. So in order to not fund terrorism, you don't stop paying, right? You don't ring up the bank and say, cancel that direct debit. No, sirs, mums. You find out the name of the person that's IC in your community, right? And then you email that individual. Now that can go one of two ways. They can tell you, this is very concerning. Thank you for bringing this attention to me. Or they can say, irrelevant, you will pay. Now, unfortunately, if they say irrelevant, you will pay, you then have to go through the legal battle. But why are we worried? Why are you worried? Dr. Francis Boyle, right, is a professor of international law and he's the biological weapons expert. He's the author of the law. He wrote the law. So nobody is going to trump what he's saying. So we need to really get amongst this paperwork, sirs, ma'ams. I will reshare it after this hour. And please, do some due diligence. Read it. Northern Ireland did, look what happened. Again, bailiffs aren't allowed in Northern Ireland. Is that accurate? I do not know. May. It's so exhausting fighting. I'm cold turkey off lithium 12 years in failure to because of the vaccine damage. I'm now also epileptic and diabetic. Oh, I'm very sorry for that. It's wild, so I'm hanging on posting because I'm confused to my room of doom, shaking like a shitting dog. Help. Psilocybin creates neurogenesis. And much more study is required, I'm afraid. I believe that there is a natural remedy. You know, the same as cancer, because some experts claim that cancer is a vitamin deficiency. We no longer have Laetrile in our diets, and 200 years ago, our diets used to be rich of Laetrile. So I would suggest you try lion mane and microdose and RSO and hemp oil, okay? Because what we really need to do is we really need to rebuild the immune system. Yep, ain't allowed a license here. No bailiffs can knock doors here. Well, big up to Northern Ireland. Michael, I didn't vote for migrants. I think you mean illegal, you know, because there's nothing wrong with people of different ethnic backgrounds. Don't say crisis team, please. There's no beds. Fair apologies, I don't know what you're referring to, there's no beds. I didn't agree jabs. Kev just reminded me of a very good point. In my 14-year military career, I received 60 vaccines. And people still call me anti-vax. How many vaccines am I required to no longer be anti-vax? Or is it just the COVID jabs that you're referring to? I didn't vote digital ID. Here. Danny, regarding your council tax, Vince, I'm taking true facts. Please, everyone, go to Marie Maron on Insta. Check the comment I was spelt. And she's got everything you need. Letters and send to your council for council tax. Please, sirs, moms, if you want to fight the cabal and you don't know where to start, that's where you start. Hit them in the pocket. Hit it where it hurts. You know, they made 5 billion doses of COVID vaccine in record time. 3 months flat, right? 5 billion doses. Obviously not. Okay, obviously that didn't happen. But if they didn't have all the money in the world, they would not be able to conduct their criminal schemes. So if you are paying too much gas, water, electric, so when you own your own property, you can then put your own gas and electric meters in. As I done for years. And it's a civil matter, right? So, I mean, guys, what are we waiting for? Cancer, anti-neurological something, John. I only had half of your text, apologies. I forgot the illegal part. Well done, you. Political here. Charge people to fill their PIP papers out and take their first payment, of course. NI has a lot of claimants. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate. Our diet is key, Tim says. Mushrooms are the way forward. You know, I was once smashing the gym, believe it or not. And I had 2 friends helping me with my diet. And I remember I was asking the one friend and I said, oh, what about mushrooms? Can I have mushrooms as a part of my diet? And he said, well, you can have them, but there's no real nutritional benefit. And that's our thinking process as a society. We do not know about the about the mycelium network. Sticking 2 morphine patches on me. Oh, it went too fast, apologies. Where are you? Sticking a morphine patch on me because I'm medication resistant. It's not fair. Oh, darling. Have you tried RSO though? Have you tried RSO? Yeah, I know I live here, but I'm from Aberdeen. Oh, wow. Well, fair play. Thank you for bringing that. That was referenced the Northern Ireland stuff, guys. So thank you, Michelle. I haven't got any meters. I pay monthly, and water keeps screwing me over. Yeah, so you can only put the gas and electric meters in yourself, in your own home, if you own the property. Okay? If you do not own the property, what you can do is you can, as opposed to doing a direct debit, you can do a standing order, right? You can say, listen, I'm not paying you £100 a week. Right, that is absolutely ridiculous. And I know you guys are criminal. Before COVID, I used to pay £30. That's what you're having. And then you set up a standing order as opposed to a direct debit. Water, I mean, are we aware that they put nasty chemicals in the water? Why would you be paying for that water? I do not know, sirs, ma'ams. And again, challenge it. I know so many people that are now challenging, and they are successful. And again, it doesn't matter whether they're not as vocal as me, you know, because if I make one person aware, I've made one person aware. If I make one person aware whilst live streaming on social media and that gets 100,000 views in a day, I've then increased my workload 100,000 times more effective. So work smart, not hard. But it doesn't matter that people are not working as smart as they possibly can. What matters is we're taking the fight. Thanks, Dale. I do appreciate it. So I don't think that you've tried RSO, Faye, have you? Listen, forget the stigma, right? And try it. So what else can we do? So gas, we've talked, water, electric, council tax, and promissory notes. So they are, if you guys don't know where to start the fight, Blakey boy, and you want to start the fight, please join on to the winning side. We are definitely going to win this war. My brother and dad were in the army and have passed. Oh, there you are. Bought their own house and gave my mum a grant off SAFA. I don't know what that is. It went missing during COVID. She has to pay RCT now. 79-year-old woman. Unfortunately, sirs, moms, I'm good, but I'm not God. And I don't have questions to all. I don't have answers to all the questions, unfortunately. Hopefully there's a paper trail, okay, and if not, I'm sorry. We know that these guys, but this is why it's important that we nip this in the bud, guys, because if we don't, look what they've just put us through, right? Imagine your children going through that. And if you can't fathom your children going through a dystopian future, then we have to do something. You can start by sharing this message. What's more effective than sharing is making your own content, because I'm so censored. But we have to start, guys. And I am not going to stop trying to get you to be sovereign. So here we are. With water, I'm supposed to pay £20 a month, and I've paid that. And they say I got another £100 to pay. I'm not effing paying it though. Well done, darling. And again, challenge it. Ask them, do you put these chemicals in the water? Do you put fluoride in it? Because it's great for teeth. Whoops-a-daisy, it's a neurotoxin. That's how they get you, see. But yes, challenge it. I mean, for me, I used to enjoy the encounters. apart from the last one when they sent a platoon. But I used to like the encounters, not because they were pleasant, because you can even hear my mouth drying in the content, and you can hear my shortness of breath, because these guys really rattle my cage. But the reason that I like the opportunity is because it's more exposure. Every time I do a video that's seen by 1,000 people, that's 1,000 more soldiers. Or it's 1,000 more soldiers that we already had that's a little bit more aware. They've just... Nothing they can do. I'll happily say this. Judge in 10 years. Ha ha. I'll pay £1 a week. Well, that's the other thing, But that's only if you lose. They in my court case for the council tax, right? Now, the judge told me that I was going to have to explain all this to the bailiffs, but they never came. And they never sent a letter. And deep down, I believe it's because when you submit the affidavit to Dr. Francis Boyle, he might show off on the bench. But afterwards, when he's reading it, because again, they don't digest all of the stuff that you submit to court before you go, even though they should, but they don't. But I mean, afterwards, maybe he read it and thought, oh shit, I don't want to be a terrorist. I don't want to be complicit in biological warfare. Much respect, thank you, Danny. My son's TikTok went viral. PSNI knocked the door, because he quoted what the policeman said. Well done, that man. This is, we have to remember everything's on the phone. The internet is our best friend. It's a double-edged weapon if you sat there scrolling for hours or following idiots. But yes, we have to, when I done the flyers the other day, okay, we collected 30 flyers. You stick it on social media with a link where you can you can fill this paperwork out digitally. That's seen by 3,000 people. I've no longer told 30. I've told 3,000. So again, I know we don't like to get on the internet, some of us. Man, who cares? Who cares? Who cares if a snob falls out my nose? Who gives a shit? This is war, okay? And we have to treat it appropriately. What's this? I sounded like, what's his name, man? The guy up the valleys. Roger. I said, wobble your head, lads. Oh, okay, I didn't see that bit. You can only offer the highest coin in the realm a month. I think it's £2. I was taken to court, and I've already. I don't know why it's. If somebody if somebody replies to somebody's comment, I'm getting that same. I'm seeing that same comment pop back up. So yes, that's what we can do, right, sirs, moms. If you are not confident in conducting a citizen's arrest yet, okay, we can challenge these things from the phone that you're watching me on, right? Set up an email, send it over. I say set it up. You've all got emails because you're on the buck watching. So please, guys, thank you for your fight and grit thus far, right? Me, still, none of my family members, even though I won the court case, the first thing that I come back, I see my old man and he's like, yeah, but you're never going to get a job now because you've arrested a copper. What? What are you fucking on about? They should fucking hire me in the police. But, yes, I know how difficult it's been for us all. Hasn't it been difficult, troops? But what are we going to do? We've got one of two choices. We either roll over and show our tummies and surrender like cowards or slaves, or we grip our fucking teeth and say, come on then. Stand up tall. Fuck them all, as Billy said yesterday. Being ex-Royal Welsh, I 100% agree with what you're doing. But I think your swearing ruins your videos and lives. Colin, thank you for your great feedback. I do try to watch my P's and Q's. Unfortunately, I'm just... we're all growing, aren't we? But thank you, kind sir, for your... and I especially love it from a former Royal Welshman, because the battalion hate me. They hate me now. They used to love me when I was in. I was IC media boy. And I've gone from IC media to... I don't know what they call me now in the battalion, but thank you, Colin. I appreciate that, my friend. And do you know what? I promise I'm going to... I mean, I make excuses for it, but I never used to swear in front of my mother. Nor do I swear in the courtroom. I did say bloody once, and I was picked up by the judge. Don't swear. I said, is bloody a swear word, sir? Yes, it is, yeah. And then he said pissing on the next year, and he said pissing, so... But no, I appreciate you calling, and thank you for your service, my friend. And if I'm waking veterans up, that's ultimately, you know, every time I post stuff, because I've got a professional platform now and I'm able to post simultaneously, I always send it to the veterans groups. And you wouldn't believe how many veterans... I mean, I'm loved by many, but I'm also hated by many, you know. Anyone still serving in the army can't stand me because I'm questioning their employability as a soldier, their integrity as a soldier, and they don't like it. They're weak, right? They're bottom third, and they're not able to come to terms with being wrong. I mean, which is strange for me, right? Because every time, that's how we become so professional, Colin. We go down the lane, the range, and who do you have behind you de-essing? A load of false screws. And you know, you can not listen to the false screws, but the drama is, in our profession, is when you're lackadaisy on the range, how do you think you're going to be on the battlefield? Shit state. So every time I trained like it was real. You are doing a man's man work, brother. That's a typo. God's work. Thank you, kind sir. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. And I love the love. I love the love. The love. So initially, back all them years ago, not judging, just saying, there was a lot of hate. There was far more hate. But now there's far more love. I mean, everybody recognizes me from my work, which is nice. I mean, in the age of disinformation, when we have informational warfare, that was part, you know, it's part of the parcel that I'm getting this information out there, which means my grid is obviously, it comes with that information. I can't believe how many people are still sleeping. It's like living in the Twilight Zone. A.T. Brown. And something else we just discussed, me and Kev. Last year, in 2025, right, they done a poll, and 56% of Americans, 56%, now believe that the excess death worldwide is a direct factor of the mRNA rollout. So even though last year we still had 42... what was it, 56? Apologies. 44% in the Twilight Zone. We still have 56. And that was last year, mind. You know, lots of things have happened since last year. You'll be in the history books as a legend. Well, listen, it's not about being in man's history books, but I appreciate that, Andy. Thank you. It's about being... in God's good books, mate. And I do now believe in God. I do now believe Jesus Christ rose from the dead. I do. I believe it. You can call me whatever you want. I mean, I embrace God. And I love it. And, you know, I mean, I hope I can educate others too, because there are no bad teachings that I'm familiar with from Jesus Christ. If you are aware of any, let me know. Using herbal remedies, Ryan, you would be Seymour, wouldn't you, you bugger? Using herbal remedies and mushrooms is the way forward. Mushrooms alone. I don't think that is the thing that solves everything. Remember, Jesus mentioned all seeds will be for food. This is including cannabis seeds, and it is superfood alongside mushrooms. So reference your seeds, right? Reference your hemp seed. Can you tell me, sirs, moms, anything that has more protein than hemp seed? I bet you can't. What Ryan, the gentleman, is saying is absolutely accurate. Why would we try chemotherapy, which is toxic? Okay, why would we? Fine if you want to try chemo, but try the natural remedies first, at least. Because you might have RSO, beat the cancer, and no requirement to be zapped by chemotherapy. So here on the natural remedies. Thank you, Ryan. God is great. She knows. Me too. Bible passion all day. Well, I haven't read the Bible yet. I only believe in God because I've encountered a CE5 event. And normally CE5 events, so people go to the CE5 events to meet celestial beings. This mother, I'm not going to say the word because Colin's just corrected me. Thank you, Colin. But this thing came to visit me. And again, we have it captured. It's on social media everywhere. YouTube, Welsh Sheriff, the caption 252177027. Somebody rebut that and tell me what it is. Anybody. It's the angels. No evil against me shall prosper. From the Bible. I am doing God's work on opposite Catherine Crick's live Sunday. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, kind sir. I mean, you can feel it now. You can feel it, can't you? I mean, if we'd had this live 5 years ago, I'd have probably logged off and cried. Because everybody, including all my loved ones, including all my friends, everybody thought that the government were not fraudulent, treasonous rats. Is that a better word for Colin? Rats. CE5 Dr. Stephen Greer. That's absolutely correct. And, I mean, yes, until you know, you don't know. So, please, much study is required. I mean, I guess it does aid in fighting the cabal, because when you are spiritual and I mean, yes, it's a very complex, difficult subject matter to address. And I'm Colin, he loves rats. Colin loves rats. He loves the wording rats, apologies. But yes, with the CE5, guys, you just got Dr. Stephen Greer, right? Close Encounters of a Fifth Kind, The Lost Century and How to Reclaim It, and Unacknowledged. Watch them documentaries. Thank me later. Yes, these things, whatever you call them, I'm calling the one that come to visit me an angel. Yippee! Bubblegum. I've been told off for smoking on a podcast, but it is my second podcast of the day. And I think we should break the stigma. Okay? Break the stigma. Understand that all mammals have an endocannabinoid system. Faye hates rats and pigs. Fair one. Oh, no. Oh, it's okay. Yes, Colin, I appreciate you, mate, and thank you. And again, mate, do you know what? I was at Truth Weekend Festival, weekend just gone. And a friend of mine, Blakey, I can see he's still viewing up the top there. So Blakey told Joy to watch my content. And Joy said to me the other day, again, love her integrity. She said, the first time that Blakey sent me your username, Dale, she said, I logged on to you. I logged on to you. I seen you was this scruffy guy in a beard, in a bathing robe, smoking a cannon. She said, I didn't watch any of your content. She said, you just look like a bum. And look, again, I appreciate the feedback. I do. Even if I don't act on it all the time, I appreciate it. But it made me realize some things, you know? It made me realize that people will pick up your attire on, you know, man on the phone on Facebook. They'll pick up your attire before questioning all the subject matter that you've discussed. It's your natural medication. Here, Jess. Orbs, angels, billions of them. Here, Michael. So yes, I do half apologise for my scruffy attire and my smoking. But again, let's take into consideration, this is war, okay? And, you know, you should be treated appropriately. And I tell you, you could probably hear from my chest, I'm back on the fags. back on the good stuff. And I've never enjoyed a cigarette like I've enjoyed one in theatre. And yes, I am loving a fag at this moment in time. I'm, yes, just really loving a fag. Judging a book again, see? Yes, well, again, look, Joy is a wonderful person. She really is. Shout out to you, darling. She came to all of my, the citizen's arrest case, okay? But you've got to appreciate the feedback, like, because it's, you know, we'd be far more effective if all of the thousands of people watching listened and it just clicked. But what I learned is, if your attire is inappropriate, it's not going to click because they're not even going to digest. I'm smoking my green Mr. Reese. I don't know why you're telling me that, Faye. Michael Smith, ex-Royal Welsh and Welsh Guards, 12 years. Left in 2012. Thank you very much for your service, young man. He has fallen out with several senior ranks recently due to my political views opposing bogus lethal vaccines, open borders, LGBTQ, paedophilia, supporting Q movement, Fabian society, and they especially don't like any criticism of the royal family and their involvement in all of the above. Mate, we can't all be top third. Can we though? We can't all be top third, mate. Thank you, my brother. Listen, it's only a matter of time now, right? Anybody that's still pro-COVID injections, you are simply the bottom third of humanity. And I hate to hurt your feelings, okay? I'm not calling you nasty words. I'm just telling you that the vast majority of people now know the truth. So if you don't understand this, but everybody else does, you know, time to keep up. Time for less social media, more study. I suffer from bad shoulder pain and I don't take pharma. So a big fat cannon, it says carrot, but I think it's cannon, before bed helps me sleep like a baby. Sean, mate, the other day I went to court and honestly, right, I was having some seriously dark thoughts. Thoughts that we won't even mention, okay? But they were horrific. And then, you know, a load of my support network come immediately to support me. And somebody got me on the jabbers because I quit smoking weed this year. Mate, me and you both. Me and you both. Like, this plant, sirs, moms, ladies and gentlemen, is the only plant in the world to share our endocannabinoid system. You cannot feed your endocannabinoid system without that. Oh, look at that fucking... Apologies, Colin, but I do get excited. So yes, do not worry, sirs, mums. Hear from the Doberman, he said. All right, then, that's enough. He does, all right, that's enough. He's on patrol as the Doberman. Good on you, Wayne. Dr. Francis Boyle and his affidavit of truth from Blakey. Oh, Blakey, you've sent me paragraphs for days. I can't read all that. I can't even see it all. So I'm assuming that is the full affidavit. Yes. Blakey, please no fucking apologies, Colin. And troops, we should, yes, you are right. Because we can't send this content to children. So apologies, I keep swearing. Please, no 3-4 paragraphs. Blakey, I will share the affidavit of Dr. Francis Boyle. Colin Bay, Pricey Bay. I will share the affidavit of Dr. Francis Boyle immediately after this. Immediately. 19 minutes. So yes, sirs, mums, the fight has been difficult. A minute. The fight has been difficult. We have lost friends and family over it. But remember, okay, we are fighting for these guys. You are kidding me. Oh, I haven't done it. You are, right? We are fighting for these guys while they sleep, right? We are fighting for our friends and family while they sleep. Now, just because they are asleep, don't take it personal, okay? It's, the level of conditioning, guys, honestly, it's impressive. 100 years in the making. These guys didn't have a chance. So I don't know what oil. Essential oil works on cannabinoid receptors. It's very good. I can't pronounce what you've wrote there, but just know that it's in the comments, sirs, moms. I mean, there's so many things. There's so many things that strengthen our immune system. But we're just unfamiliar with it a little bit. People don't know about the endocannabinoid system. Doctors don't know about the endocannabinoid system, sirs, moms. You are fighting for future generations. Yvonne. Thank you, Yvonne. Well, it's not me, it's we. Okay, we have you guys now. The live that I done earlier, for example. I'm picking up people's derogatory comments, and we've got people in the comments, literally, we've created a digital army. All these digital warriors, they're in the comments, and they're critiquing these individuals with the flawed thinking process, we'll say. Mike Eden, ex-boss of Pharma, 15 years, 2020. Don't take the jabs if it wasn't a clue. Yeah, no, and not only that, not only did he not take the jabs, but he's been very vocal about how they are, cardiotoxic. For those of you that don't understand cardiotoxicity, it's your cardiovascular system dying. Joe gives loads of kisses. Is that the same, Joe? And then she also gives a God bless. Thank you, Joe. God bless us all. Well, I said, guys, listen, we are winning the war. And it's not pleasant, right? It's not pleasant to know that no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to save everybody. I won't tell you the joke that me and Kev just made. Inside a joke. But look, this has been tough on us all. And we are finally at the position now where the vast majority of people know the truth, but still not enough. Still not enough. Now, yes, this information has to reach every man, woman and child on planet Earth. But we've also, we've got to stop funding them. And not only funding them, you know, spread awareness. Make your communities aware that you have stopped paying them. Being told you were only in the Salvation Army from Steve Conning. Was you, yeah. Look, we'll allow the banter. You can beast me all day. But if it's derogatory and misinformation, whose misinformation? Dr. Francis Boyle's misinformation. If you're not up to scratch with him, unfortunately, we will have to block you. But look, banter's cool. Banter's okay, princess? You can tell your friend I wasn't in the Salvation Army. I was in the Real McCoy Royal Welsh Fusiliers, 1689, sir. Decorated soldiers as well, I may add. On and off the battlefield. How many decorations of Steve Chinook got? Or whatever his name is. Steve, Salvation Army, mate. Love it. Aye. He doesn't know about Cpl Covid. He doesn't know we've been out here arresting cops, does he? Does he not know that? No. Banging that drum since day one, Vince. Biblical effort. Standing for what you believe in. Top soldier. Pricey. Also, a former Royal Welshman. It means a lot from the soldiers, my bro. Before we consume cannons, what do? No shouting out. We have full cannabinoids. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, nom. And no, sirs, moms, if you are smoking without it, you're not smoking for medicinal purposes. In the United Kingdom, right, all of the flour that we get prescribed in the UK is indoors. Now, when you grow this plant indoors, it manipulates the plant. It cannot be organic under artificial lights. And the only medicinal marijuana which is grown under the sun, organically, because it has what's known as equal cannabinoids. These flowers, they are 22% THC, 0.1% CBD. Now, before this flower was manipulated by man, it would have had 14% THC and 15% CBD, because you have equal cannabinoids, broad spectrum. Daniel Cousin, how are you, my friend? Long time no speak. Keep doing what you're doing, my brother. Keep doing what you do for every other man, not just yourself. No, of course not, my bro. I'm not doing this for me. Hell no. But I was also telling Kev, I've been very much forced down this journey. You know, for example, I was medically discharged from the army disgustingly, and that got me questioning the government. And the more I questioned, the more I found out that they were dirty buggers, okay? And then I seen Mark Sexton's crime reference number, went to the police station, tried to confirm authenticity, and when they turned me down, I knew. I was like, whoa, this is real. These guys are in shit state. Apologies again, my French. So yeah, I've very much been, and they stopped me seeing my child because I was medical misinformation. So then I thought, well, if I'm not seeing him and he's not coming to the home, let's challenge it. And yes, I may have lost my properties, okay? Lost the battle and not the war. However, an individual contacted me telling me he's been successful in writing off the debt. It makes it worthy for me. Worthy tenfold. Whoa, what? Yeah, so just enjoying this cannon on our last 10 minutes, troops. So you don't see me dribbling. Hi, Dale. Keep plodding along, mate. Thank you, Tony. I intend to. Literally, I'm not joking, guys. I'm not even warmed up. One PC693 of Avon and Somerset Constabulary has finally been due process, because we know due process is from, you know, the full process. When he's been disciplined, right, mate, I am then going to be the Sheriff of Wales. Because with that case law, people don't understand. I won't need a field promotion. With that case law, that any single one of us can use, just you guys are not, you know, up to scratch on law as well as I, because I was teaching here for a long time, and, you know, I was in the military for a long time. But when you guys do, when you guys know what power you have, these guys are done. These guys are toast. So yes, it's very much now just, we've gone through everything. Woo! Bubblegum, bro! Woo! This flower is ridiculous, by the way. Strength on it. But yes, it's this now, you know, we've gone through it all. We've arrested a copper. We've gone all the way through the courts. Granted, he's not in jail yet, but we were acquitted of the reckless, that was the word. It was either lawful force or it was reckless force. And the jury deemed that on the 2 occasions that I put hands on that individual, it was lawful. Charlotte, out of interest, have you had any dealings with CMS? I have not. Seymour. Oh, wow. You've... Oh, no, it's not too bad. It's just a couple of links. Another criminal organisation created by the government. Also, not all... Oh, you're gone. Not all heroes wear capes, as you are one of those heroes. Thank you, darling. Challenging the system. Check the links below as well, as it's in the papers now. And then it's not paragraphs from Charlotte, it's links. So thank you for that. Well, again, you know, we're all somebody's hero. You know, every individual that challenges this, one of your community members will see it for the first time, and then you will be their hero. So thank you for that. Yes, it's time for us. The time is now. You cannot vote your way out of tyranny, unfortunately. Okay, you have to. You know, we have to act, and you know, I hate fighting. I hate conflict. Even though the court papers say that I'm a violent man. Violence man. Ah! Man of violence. Love it. I don't love it because it's lies. Obviously. You know, the jury didn't seem to think I was a violent man. Otherwise, they would have voted that the force was reckless. Wouldn't they have? Oh, delicious. So, yes, guys, I think there's no more questions now. We will, you know, we've got 5 minutes spare, but I think we've covered a great deal in this live. So just to recap, on our teachings today. Right? Affidavit to Dr. Francis Boyle. What does it mean? It means the mRNA technology is biological warfare. Not my opinion. His, right? He's a professor of international law. He's also a biological weapons expert. So when people say he's not a scientist, no. He's a professor in law and a biological weapons expert. So, you know, it's okay to trust. So we've got that. what does that mean? Well, that means if you are paying your council tax and you are aware of the affidavit of Dr. Francis Boyle, you listening to this now, in violation of the Terrorism Act 2000 because you are not entitled in law to fund a terrorist organisation. Now, we've tried it with many judges, right? No judges were willing to read it. However, it is now under criminal investigation. South Wales Police 26000 47716. It was escalated to the Metropolitan Police on the 3rd of March 2026. Right? Sergeant 6743. South Wales Police. The reason that I'm not giving you his full name is because he doesn't require exposure. Because even though he was a little bit chopsy on the live, wasn't he? A little bit chopsy. He knew that we meant business. And he submitted it. He gave us a crime reference number, and not only did it get submitted on Friday the 13th of 2026, but it was escalated on the 3rd of the 3rd. So, I mean, still under criminal investigation. So if you are still paying council tax today, whilst that's under criminal investigation, you're funding terrorists until the police rebut it. So that's the first thing. We then spoke of mortgages, right? You can pay your mortgage with a promissory note. I've had people follow my technique. I say my technique. It was technique from the, forgive me, Robbie the Ratcatcher. So followed his tactic. They've been successful. The bank are not taking them to court. Now, again, you can think I'm a conspiracy theorist if you want. That's okay. As Josh Parry sings in his song, Strange. All right? Utility bills, gas and electric. They are being taken by this deceptive, treasonous government or corporations, innit? Do not be paying £200 a week because they want you to fucking send, apologies, Colin, they want you to send bullets to Ukraine or wherever the bullets they claim are going now. Say no. I do not support the war. The UK government are treasonous, and I am setting up a standing order as opposed to a direct debit. You're only getting £10 a week off me, not 200. Water, challenge it. Again, challenge them all. Should you be paying for something that's been poisoned? Fluoride, sorry to tell you, troops, I know every dentist in the world tells you to get it in your toothpaste. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It's a neurotoxin. Yes, it makes your teeth white. That's a side effect of the neurotoxin. So, you know, it's how you want to perceive it. So, they are basically how we can fight the establishment financially, hit them in the pocket. I hope that you've taken something from this live. Well done exposing all the Freemasons. Oh, before I go, the companies that took my house was the same companies that removed us off the mountain. Able. Freemason company. You bet your bottom dollar I'm coming after you. So, thank you ever so much, sirs, moms. I love you all. Please continue to share this message, okay? Remember, you are the top third, and these guys are not sheep. I know it's difficult. I know we have great fun. But look, we are losing the hearts and the minds when we do that. So please stop referring to these as sheeple and start referring to them as casualties of war. As they are. I love you all.